Statistics have shown that today's HR practitioners are using artificial intelligence for HR functions such as compensation and benefit administration, recruitment and hiring, employee performance management, and onboarding of new employees. Some say that artificial intelligence, AI, is actually making us lazy. Others are of the assertion that artificial intelligence is actually making us more productive. But there's one thing that I think we can all agree on, and that is AI is really developing and affecting the future or the present and the future of work. This is what we'll be discussing on today's episode of the HR Talk. The HR Talk is proudly brought to you by the HR Certification Center, and the HR Talk has been designed to speak about HR leadership and HR development issues from a strategic level. I am Kwabena Nyamiche Dapa, and I'll be your host for today's episode. And we are shooting live from the AH Cafe located at Ridge. They share the same premise with Metro TV. And to take us in today's discussion is an eminent HR practitioner. She has 14 years of working experience spanning various industries such as FMCGs, telecommunication infrastructure, the oil and gas sector, and she has emerged as a highly professional and proficient HR practitioner. Her repertoire encompasses a wide range of HR disciplines and competencies, including employee engagement, localization management, learning and development, HR business planning, HR projects, learning and talent management. Throughout her career, she has contributed significantly to the oil and gas sector for 9 years, notably serving in various capacities within the Human Resource Department of Tullow Ghana Limited during its initial 8 years period. Some of her roles at Tullow Ghana included talent and L&D, HR projects, HR business partnering. Presently, she's also worked with Rigweld as the HR manager, learning and development. Beyond her professional endeavor, she indulges in various personal interests, including swimming, watching movies, music. She cherishes her role as a proud mother. She epitomizes a well-rounded individual who consistently pursues professional growth, leveraging on her career accomplishment and diverse passion to benefit herself and others. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest on today's episode is Eugenia Plunge. Eugenia.
Hey, hello.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good to have you here.
I'm pleased to be here.
Super. You know, the issues of artificial intelligence, AI, I should say over the, let's say, 5 years or 2 years has become very prominent.
Yep.
Everybody's speaking about it. People are asking, is artificial intelligence going to take our businesses? Is it taking our roles? What is your general feel about the kind of atmosphere that artificial intelligence has created in our workspace?
I would want to start with interestingly, I love the topic because it's about technology. The general thing about AI or artificial intelligence that we would all have to, be aware of just to cool our warmth.
Yeah.
And make us feel okay, that it has come to help. It has mainly come to support.
Yeah.
It has come to provide all the needed ingredients that we would need to enrich the work environment for which we are. HR is an aspect of the work environment we are, but broadly, the entire workforce or the entire fraternity of work is affected by it and is being improved by it. It is not necessarily to scare or to make us feel that it's coming to replace something we already have. It's rather, I believe, mainly coming to boost. I believe it's a challenge that it has thrown to humanity. For a long time, humanity has become a bit comfortable quite reluctant because
You're in our
we are
comfort zone.
used to the things we do, you know.
Yeah.
We are used to the ways we go about things in our various, you know, different
So you
areas
say
of
that
work.
AI has become a disruptor?
And not necessarily. It's actually, I would say it's come to challenge us and put us back on our toes because we have to start thinking of the next level. We need to start thinking of what's next, what's different.
Yeah.
How can we improve what we are currently doing?
Yeah.
So it's more like coming to whip us up and not necessarily to, no, to take the place. Or
Yeah, so it's actually come to whip us up and not necessarily.
Exactly. It's to challenge us.
But so you've had 9 years experience as an HR.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when you started, AI was nowhere close as it has become
No.
prominent today. Say that, what do you say AI is doing to the human resource profession?
I think that it's actually become quite interesting and it's making it, I would say, much very insightful, very data driven, and then it's become very exciting, fun. And I'll explain. It's become very necessary as well because
Okay.
for the times we are in, you cannot do without it. As much as you will not be interested in it, as much as you don't want to have anything to do with it, or you don't want to be part of it, it has come to stay.
Yeah.
And it is changing the work life. It is changing our entire lives, not just work. So I will say that it has come to support rather the HR processes, the systems we have, and the HR disciplines that we do have. You mentioned the different aspects of HR, and it is affecting every aspect of it.
Yeah.
And that's the joy of it. And as I mentioned before, it's a challenge, it's a boost, it's a whip up to us for us to do more than we're already doing. So it's an eye-opening that it's not going to be the normal, usual HR any longer. And that's where the interest is for me. That's where it's exciting. That's where it's not going to be very insightful. And if you do not sit up and level up to it, you will be taken out of this whole thing. And it's over a time.
Yeah.
If we do not embrace it and step up to enjoy and then use it to benefit what we do already, it will take us out.
Yeah.
And it will take us out, not necessarily wiping us out, but it will not make you relevant and sustainable any longer.
Yeah. Yeah,
We should.
I can't agree even more. That's that's very true. And want to engage with our audience online. We are live on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, kindly do what to drop them in the comment section. I'll be taking the questions. I'll be taking your comments from time to time so that it becomes more engaging. And we are now speaking on HR, or we are talking about the future of work with HR or with AI in focus. We're speaking on how AI is transforming human resource management, and you spoke on something that if we do not, let me paraphrase, if we do not evolve, it will not make us relevant.
Exactly.
So for an HR practitioner, how do you stay abreast with these AI trends? Because they keep moving, they're changing every now and then.
It is so fluid that it is not waiting for us. I remember just last 2 years, if I go back in the workspace that I've been, the way we used to do things. So if I take, let's say, recruitment. Typically, we will have to gather a couple of national servers to sift through all the CVs that comes through to ensure that, and that's cost for employing a couple of people to do that.
Both direct and indirect, right?
Exactly.
The time and the money and all that.
And what else coming to the time? Unnecessary time. We have lots of people training to be administrators. And do not get me wrong, administrators are good. We have just limited it and made it become one level. We can step it up. And that is what I believe the AI is doing.
Yeah.
It is not necessarily going to take people's, it's not going to take our place. It's asking us to take up the next level. So as a school, to become an administrator or a coordinator, it is now going to start letting you apply more of your mind than just pushing papers. It's going to make you start thinking beyond just typing or putting reports together, and
Yeah.
now starting to pull them with your mind applied to it and being more strategic to it. I had a couple of chats with a colleague HR,
Okay.
and we were discussing how HR has evolved. If we take one aspect like payroll,
Payroll, right.
it's now become reward, and with this it has evolved from just computing salaries and pulling together data for payments and all. Now it's evolved to start talking about how can we evolve and help employees to stay.
Retention, yeah.
It's talking about how can we put elements in place to have to encourage and then engage our employees, an employee preposition. So it's putting methods and skills together now. It's no longer just going to learn how to put data together and how to pay people. Because it's fading out. If you will understand now, it's automated.
Yes.
We will not necessarily need a payroll coordinator any longer, and it will fade over time. This was even before AI became this prominent.
Yeah.
So it had started already. The evolution had already started. And I think AI mainly enriched it and made it even much more hands-on. That for wherever you are not limited in any way. You can just get on board and then you can get things done and be very efficient and relevant in its own way.
I see us talking about the advantages, what AI is bringing on board, how AI is making us think to the next level, how AI is making some roles redundant. And I think in making some of the roles redundant, it becomes, can I say it becomes better for the employers? Because they don't have to be paying a lot of people to be doing repetitive roles, and now they can just pay a system to gather complex data and make deductions from it. Okay. Would you say that is something that we can be looking at?
Of course. The good thing about AI is that it's a mutual benefit. It's not necessarily only for the employer. Okay. Obviously, as you've mentioned, the employer will gain in that aspect where now you'll be able to be circumspect when it comes to numbers or heads that you will need for any particular job.
Yeah.
You will even now be synthesized as to how I structure my jobs, so that there are some jobs that I might not necessarily need anyone to do. I can use systems to do that.
Yeah.
The benefit for the individual or the employee, is that it's not challenging you to start thinking beyond it. So don't go to school only to be an administrator with just that level. No. Yeah. Now I'm thinking of how can I be an advisor, an analyst, a senior advisor. So it goes beyond, it's pushing you to now step up. And that's the joy, and for me, that's the exciting bit of AI and technology in itself, that it's mainly boosting us and whipping us that this is not your pace, you need to step it up. You need to be challenged to be doing more than you're doing. So the clerks, the coordinators, the administrators we have now, start thinking about it. The beautiful thing about AI is it doesn't work on its own. It has to be operated by someone.
Yes.
So it has the human aspect of it that needs to be put on it. And you see, it's a system. So it can be very mechanic, it can be very abstract and all. We need the human touch to bring the feel to the whole thing. And that's where for HR, as we do know, is to be able to touch people. It goes beyond just reading the books. It goes beyond the data. It's now adding the human feel and the human touch to it. And that's where you would need people still to do it, to do that.
Yeah.
So now that the administrator become an analyst using AI to manage the complex systems in the organization. So he doesn't lose his job.
Yeah, he has to enhance himself.
That's it.
So HRs have to enhance themselves to become more useful. So let me just take some comments we have online.
Right.
So I can see Emmanuel says good. Robert Mensah says it's going to be interesting. This RT Mishra, I hope I got it right. She said, "Hi, I'm waiting. IT, we've started." This is from ADC HR Certification Center. Nice to meet you again. My name is Orwell, located in Kaswa. Okay, great. Please, let's get your comments coming. If you have any questions, we'll be checking them out. And Eugenia is poised to give us authoritative directions to these things. So, Eugenia, in your opinion, what are some of the challenges or risks associated with integrating AI into human resource management?
Right. We've spoken about a couple of them. I'll start with data and security privacy. It's an instrument that permeates through everything. You know, I spoke about the ability to sift through CVs. Even when it comes to employee attrition, you are able to use that to predict and analyze and all that. So it gives, or it will need data that are a bit personal. So it can go into the point where you will need to use personal details of people.
Yeah.
Like history of people, backgrounds of people, how their work patterns have been. And this is personal to them.
Yeah.
But you need that to be able to generate the results you're looking for. So in combating that, or how we can mitigate that, is that's where the human factor has to come in. You will need to be able to audit the system. You need to set it in a way that it applies, or it ensures that the GDPR, ensuring that data protection laws are highly respected and then is followed. So you will need to work with it. One thing that that gets me also interested with AI is that it gives you, as much as it's giving you more than you can ever think you would need, it gives you all the answers, you will have to regulate it.
Yeah.
I always speak to a couple of students and I tell them that AI is great, but don't go and copy and paste. You always need to apply your mind to it. And as you apply your thoughts to it and set it, you know, you can regenerate the questions, you can regenerate the thoughts to think a particular pattern. So that it starts thinking the way you should think. And that's where the human feel comes in.
Yeah.
So that it's not that robotic. It's not abstract any longer. It's broken down to the daily way of life.
Yeah.
So that it becomes relevant, it becomes beneficial to the next person, it's impactful and influence. And you can help the organization to understand it this way, and that will enable them to come on board. And so the data privacy and security is a key thing that needs to be looked at. The other thing that we'll have to work on is employee trust. And being transparent with AI when we are using it in the workplace. It is not more like what will I say, like a bureau or espionage, where you're using it to fizzle through people's stuff, you know, kind of thing. That is not what AI is supposed to be used for. So be transparent about it as an organization. These are the tools we are using that are powered by AI, and then these are the use of it, especially the roles or jobs that it will be enhancing or will be working more with that. Help them to understand the benefits of it, how it's going to generate the results for the organization, and for the individual to even improve himself, you know, in development and learning. So immediately an individual knows that I have a benefit in it, I'm going to get something out of it. They become interested. And then that's where trust.
In a way.
Of course, I mean that's normal. But you will have to get people involved. You will have to let them be comfortable about it. Let them bring out all the concerns that they have, the nuances they might have heard, the stuff they might have read about, and all that, just to be able to understand what their thoughts are, and then you can address it as you go along. And that's where you build trust and transparency in this. There's also the technical reliability and accuracy. Typically, again, it's a machine, it's the system, it can have hitches, it can have all that, so you need to regularly update. Now, there are several models of AI. apart from the GBT chat that's usually common that people use.
That's a common one. Yeah.
Exactly. There are other forms and models that have been made. I recently just joined one group on LinkedIn.
Okay.
That's about artificial intelligence, and that's what they talk about. So the new interventions, the new ways of doing things in different facets of work. And it's amazing things that is being discussed there.
Yeah.
So join groups like that to see what's going on, what's trending, what's happening. And then you can use that to be able to regulate and manage the system in the work environment so that it can serve the purpose you need it to.
Okay.
The other bit that I would want to add is that AI, as good as it is, can never be as clever as a human being is.
It was created by humans.
It was created by humans again, So it can never be more than you, the human. The fact that you've not tapped into the full potential of your mind and how powerful your thought can be, it is more than what an AI is. So you are still having an upper hand to be able to regulate, to manage, guard it, and make it do what you want it to do. That's how come people can use it on the other side where it can be way wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you use it for the purpose that you want to use it for, and to generate the results that the organization wants, the investment, the savings the company can make in getting these on board. I mean, it's massive.
Yeah.
But it's all here. You need to manage it to flow with the thought pattern and the culture that you work within.
On talking about costs, when we come back from this break, we are going to be talking about the costs involved in getting AI as part of our business.
Right.
Sometimes, let me dare say that sometimes Africans are late adapters. When things come up, we adapt to it quite late.
Right.
And we'll be talking about why so and the costs involved and why people should be looking at these AI systems to be running their businesses. So we'll be right back, and I'll be taking your questions and comments so do well to share the link with someone who you think should be listening to this conversation, or anyone in the HR field. AI is actually affecting everybody who is working or not working.
Yes.
So let's share the link to everyone. Come back with your questions, and we'll pay attention to them and give you some answers. So let's take a short breather and take a word from the HR Certification Center, and we'll be right back.
Why do 93% of the world's leading multinational companies prefer certified professionals? Because they tend to be committed to higher standards and ethics and maintain an informed intercultural competency. Whether you're seeking to build a career or to upgrade your HR professional career, you need to get trained and certified at the HR Certification Center today. Our experience in training and certifying HR professionals is unparalleled. We're trusted to offer a comprehensive portfolio of advanced professional credentials for the HR professionals worldwide, and today, more than 500,000 HR professionals worldwide in 125 plus countries proudly maintain our credentials as a mark of higher professional distinction. HR Certification Center. Call or WhatsApp today on 0244 122 855. Why do 93% of the world's leading multinational companies prefer certified professionals? Because they tend to be committed to higher standards and ethics and maintain an informed intercultural competency. Whether you're seeking to build a career or to upgrade your HR professional career, you need to get trained and certified at the HR Certification Center today. Our experience in training and certifying HR professionals is unparalleled. We're trusted to offer a comprehensive portfolio of advanced professional credentials for the HR professionals worldwide, and today, more than 500,000 HR professionals worldwide in 125 plus countries proudly maintain our credentials as a mark of higher professional distinction. HR Certification Center. Call or WhatsApp today on 0244 122 855.
Right, welcome back. That was a short message from the HR Certification Center. So if you're an HR practitioner, you should be calling the HR Certification Center to get your professional certification. Let's look into the comment section. Wow, I see a lot of comments. Thank you very much for being interactive. John Eche says, great. Marie Antoinette, she says, I see AI as a disruptive technology that allows businesses to become efficient. Just like when the world came industrialized, it was not easily accepted by everyone. However, the benefits of it initially outweighed the bad. I think that is what AI is doing for HR now. Yasmin says Paula okay, very true. Okay, where's Paula? I think I missed that one. Okay, let's go on. Paula says the difference between AI and human is emotion. Okay, so she's responding that's very true. Okay. This is Mariado true. I agree that AI started a while ago and it's now being more enhanced. Okay. Rita says HR involves more thinking to get it right. Therefore, I see AI as helping to reduce the routine tasks so you can think more and be more innovative.
That's it.
All right. So Ruben says we have to embrace AI. If you are an employee, try to use AI. Okay. I think I have a question here. Let me take the question.
Okay.
Marie is asking, my question is that what are some drawbacks to this innovation that will hurt the profession? And what are some of the measures we can take? I think we elaborated
We talked
on
about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. All right. Okay. I think that will be about that for the comments. Please do well to keep your comments coming. So before we left, we were getting into the cost as being late adapters.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell employers about getting AI into their business, running AI as a part of the business?
Right. So it is becoming important, and actually, as I mentioned before, you can be a late adapter, but you have to get on board because the time is coming where you have no other choice, and you will not want to be in the place where you don't have room to actually test the system, try to go through all the processes to get to feel comfortable that you would want to go ahead with it.
Yeah.
I would want to encourage employers that it is come to support. It is come to save you some more monies. And as we know, all other management systems do. They do come in as most of the time, sometimes can start with an initial cost, not so much with AI, as I've realized, unless there are particular systems that you would want to put in place.
Okay.
As we spoke, I could mention some examples of tools that are being used, and we have some companies that are currently using them. So for recruitment, we have something like the HighView.
Okay.
HighView, which is a recruitment tool, it's powered by AI, and it's mainly used for assessment.
Okay.
So you're able to assess skill sets, you're able to assess even competencies for specific jobs.
Okay.
You are able to even use video interviewing to be able to know more about the individual.
Okay.
It goes back, depending on data that is inputted, able to give you a sense of the culture of the individual.
Wow.
And behavior, how the person behaves towards certain, situations and all that. So that is how predictive and very complicated AI is becoming. And it's mainly going to enhance you, for you as a board or a leader in an organization, because you will want information, metrics, data at a go.
Yes.
And this should be very easy to get. And you
AI.
can use AI to do that. that at the comfort of your desk, you can get all the data that you would want to have. You will not necessarily need an HR to process to give you a data of a particular department and how their behavioral or metrics has been and all that. You can do this on your own. You can then have the HR people now partnering with the departments and functions as they should, able to encourage the engagement more and be able to motivate the employee to produce or to be able to give off their best. The other thing is with attrition. This is usually a very dicey one because you can hardly predict sometimes. With AI, it's become very easy to do that. With again data that is put in there, and that's why you need to guard it, because here it goes very personal. That you need to give the history about the employee, how his work pattern has been, how his experiences has been, how he's handled certain situations, and how he makes decisions.
Wow, so when the AI realizes that pattern, they can tell you that this person is about to leave. Wow.
They can let you know that for the numbers you have, this is the rate of attrition you should expect, or this is the numbers of turnover you should expect in this period. And also, because it's fed, is what you put in is what you're going to get back. So how good you feed it and how you manage and direct its thought pattern to think the way it should think, then you would get the results that you need. So yeah, it's massive, it's helping, it's supportive. The other thing that is helping managers or employers to also gain is, apart from the profits that you will gain, it's also enabling you to be now more particular and very, I would say, connected to the people you have.
Okay.
Because you will need this data from the people you need to engage.
Yeah.
You need to be more interactive with them. You need to be very up and one-on-one with them to be able to have that interaction, to be able to get that information that you need. And making them comfortable that it's all guarded by the GDPR, it's guarded by the security, the information security systems and protection, so that it is not going to be misused in any way. And how that can support the systems we have. If you've realized now on your phone, any app you want to download or any system you want to have on your phone, the first thing it asks you, usually it's at the latter part that most people don't look at. It asks you that, so we'll be using your information for data processing to be able to check on, are you okay for us to use your data?
We always say okay.
You don't even read it. Right.
Accept everything.
Accept. Because some of them, if you don't, it won't proceed. Others, it will just accept what you have. If you say no, it's a no.
It's a no,
So those are the things we need to be more particular about. And that's what AI gets us to be very vigilant, to be very observant, because you cannot overlook certain.
True.
It can cost you a lot. And it gets you to start thinking beyond how you usually would have.
Really making us look at the bigger picture. And I'm sure that with what you have explained, employers should really be looking at adding AI to their business processes, because it's going to save you a lot.
It will.
And probably not in the short term, but in the long term.
Of course. And the other thing is to stay relevant as an organization and as a business in the industry, the sector you are operating. As I mentioned, AI is evolving and so fast.
Very fast.
It's taking over. A lot of companies have gotten on board. If you don't, you can't compete any longer. And that's where you are now forced to do it.
Yes. And when you are forced, sometimes it might be too late.
Exactly.
Today, when I was driving
make
here,
a lot of mistakes.
I was talking with a friend. We were talking about Nokia. Those days, Nokia used to be a thing, Nokia's battery was the best, and it was all about the battery. When phone companies were moving to Android, they were still with the Symbian, using the Symbian operating system. And today, Nokia is nowhere to be found. Now people have taken over. So that's how it's going to be with AI.
Exactly.
If we don't adapt quickly, by the time we might know it, we'll be gone.
Exactly.
We'll be gone.
One thing I want to add, Kwabena, is that as much as it has come to stay, it's become more like a take or leave it. You can't leave it, actually. It's also, at the end of the day, you as an individual being more powerful than AI.
I like that.
So, and that's what I want us, if you don't take anything, just understand that you are more than what AI is. We make AI.
We make AI.
Yeah, so you need to embrace it in that sense that you are able to empower it and get it to do as it should do. Not as it wants you to do, as it should do.
Yeah.
And as it should do comes with all the practices, all the culture, all the regulations, all the things that should guard it to make it operate in an organization effectively.
Yeah.
Right, so we can set it in a certain, in a particular way that for the region where you operate. So for Ghana, there are certain cultural practices that are very key to us.
Yes.
In some other jurisdictions, it might not be.
Yeah.
But that is the beauty of it. You are able to customize it and make it suit your thought pattern and your culture. And that's where it makes you more than what that system is. So it is good. Immediately you feel that it's going to take this, is a nuisance, it's going to do this, it's going to take our jobs, it's not something we should go for. Then it's more like it's going to control you.
Yeah.
But immediately you flip it and see it from the other way around. No, it's a system. I am going to control it.
Yeah.
I'm going to guard it with the principles and the guidelines of my operation. Then it makes you in charge. Then you now start to set it and challenge it. It will challenge you as well.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of it, so that you step up
Yes.
and be more than you are currently are.
Yes. I like that part where you really stress on it about
It's important.
challenging us.
It's important because I think over the years, for the HR fraternity, it's becoming a bit comfortable.
Mundane, yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes everybody feel and think, oh, I can do HR.
Yeah, everybody feels that they can do
It's
HR.
not
Like,
that.
HR is the easy way out, you
I
know?
know.
They say there's no mass in HR and all that.
But there is.
There is.
You
There
cannot do HR if you are not good in math. I wasn't good in maths, but I had to learn
Yeah, I mean, the metrics.
to be relevant. Otherwise, forget it.
Yeah.
Because the only language the boardroom understands is if you're able to put the
Figures.
analysis to it.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's the point if you are not getting that?
Yeah. And if you even use AI, when you sit before the board, AI can speak for you.
No.
You have to speak yourself.
You have to speak. So that's where it now challenges you.
Yeah.
Yes, I've given you all the data, I've given you, but now you have to talk to it. So the communication skills becomes relevant.
Yeah.
How you can be able to, influence people when you speak, how you can be able to get people listening to you, how you can be able to encourage people and make an impact.
Yeah.
When you talk, all that comes to bear. So you realize that it goes beyond just some machine putting in data and getting results from it. It goes way beyond that.
But this technology thing can be very interesting.
It is.
I was listening to a few tapes, a few videos on YouTube about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and they are developing robots who are more intelligent, who can take decisions, who can engage. So it seems like the more deeper we are going, the more complicated and complex this thing is becoming.
Of course. You see, robots are coming in. Now, in our schools, as young as from preschool, they start robotics, yeah?
Yes. And that's a great thing. That's
exactly.
A great thing. Yeah.
The robots are becoming more intelligent, but they can never supersede the thought of man. The way God created...
The thought of an intelligent man. Let's add that.
Well, you see,
because if you don't engage your mind,
if it's not tapped into, and you've not engaged, if you've not really developed it to operate the way it should, that's where you can say, unless it's an intelligent man.
Yeah, a robot to take over you.
Yeah, of course. Yes. But from the inception of creation, you were made that supreme above everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were made so powerful. And that is how you are able to transfer that to a machine, to a robot. Who makes the robot intelligent? It is us.
Yeah.
We are giving it the data, we are giving it the information, and it's making it think more. We've tried that on animals, and it's making them smarter.
Yeah.
It's still us. It's still man. It's still human. So the point is, how far have we stretched our minds, our thoughts, to do more than it's supposed to do? We can do more, but we've just limited ourselves to where we are, and we are like, okay, I'm fine, I'm cool, I'm here. Administrator, you're bad. Just exactly, just get the pay coming in, and that's all. And you work on that for 5, 10, 6, 7, 12 years, 15 years on that same role. That's not good enough. That's not good enough.
And AI
and with you,
that.
AI will challenge you.
Yeah.
If you don't set up, AI will kick you out.
If you don't set up, AI will definitely kick you out. We've been having a very interesting conversation. I think we almost left our audience out of it. This is interesting. I mean, artificial intelligence has come to stay. From the conversations we are having, from the comments I'm getting from you, we all aligned to artificial intelligence developing us.
Yeah.
But of course, it has its pros and cons.
Yes.
But as humans, as we learn, we are more superior.
Yep.
And until we engage our minds and learn more, we will not be able to compete with these things. Indeed, they might compete with us, but we are superior. If we engage our minds and learn more, we can
do more than that.
Yes, we can do more than. So let me see if I have some more comments coming through. Okay, I have some comments coming through. That's interesting here. Let me take this from Marie. She says that, where was this one? Okay, she said that I also read that Harvard Business School performed a survey and found that 88% of HR executives learned that their tools reject qualified candidates because of resume or CV gaps and certain spelling mistakes. Wow. So that's some of the lags of the AI. Yeah. Hiring wrong person can be expensive, and having to terminate and rehire another person is another expense. Is another expense in and of itself. How would you suggest this limitation can be bypassed?
Rephrase that so that we can take it.
Okay, so I think she's trying to say that Harvard Business School did a survey and realized that some of the AI tools that are used for recruitment, when they see spelling mistakes, they bypass. When they see gaps in the person's resume, they bypass. And this might cause the AI to jump over some good candidates.
Of course.
So how can you manage this kind of gaps that the AI brings?
Okay, so to set a recruitment tool to sift through CVs and remove certain applications due to a particular provision that they've made, or you will call it an error, but it might not necessarily be. That's how the person has set up the CV, but it is the input. It is how that organization has set its AI to do.
Yeah.
So there are some that goes like, if the person doesn't put punctuations, then the person cannot do this particular job then the person is not detail oriented.
Yeah.
So depending on the kind of job that is being sought for, they will set systems in a particular way.
Yeah.
There are some of the systems that come in default, but again, you will have to reset it.
Yes.
It's always set by us.
It's
always set by us.
That's why you need the human element.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You will put the clauses in there. It should have this phrase. It should have that phrase. If it doesn't have it, then it should take it out.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
But that's why there are some of the tools, the high view, for instance, it's not limited to only the sifting and screening of CVs. It can take the screening, the CVs even through assessments.
Okay.
So it's not now just your document going to speak for you. You will have to practically do something. You will have to practically now be assessed on a particular skill, on a particular capacity that you say you have.
All through the AI.
All through the AI. I remember when I had my first assessment center it was with First Atlantic Bank.
Okay.
about thousands of us in a huge room, and then you have we have a test on science, general stuff.
Yeah.
And that was the start of my career. And sitting back now, that's cumbersome.
It is.
Because setting the whole place up, putting questions up, now everybody have to look up and, and all that. Now you can do this at the comfort of your home, every individual, and see the numbers you can touch.
Yes, at the least cost.
At the least cost.
Yeah.
And then it will screen through and even through the interviews. And give you all the culture and all the behavioral traits, all the, we have psychometric tests now.
Yes.
That also existed before AI anyway.
Yeah.
So these has come to mainly enrich what we already have.
Yeah.
And to make it to make us know that we can make better what we do have.
Yeah.
We've not stretched ourselves that much to see how much we can go or how good we can be when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
And that's what it does.
Yeah.
So it's what you input, is how and what data you make it, what you make it do. That's what you will do.
Maybe sometimes we trust AI too much.
I guess so. We always have to remember that
AI is not God.
It has a human factor. You have to control it. Otherwise, it can mess up.
Great. Thank you very much, Eugenia. This is getting very interesting, but all too soon, we'll probably have to be joining the cat. This is a 1 hour interaction, and we always try to keep it within an hour. But keep your questions coming. We have about 15 minutes to go.
Okay.
But let me take some quick messages from our sponsors. Let me take a quick one from AH Cafe. So AH Cafe is located on the same premise with Metro TV and Millennium Insurance. It's close to Alisa Hotel at Ridge. And every Friday, I think every last Friday of the month, they have something they call the Cocktail Lounge. And this time on the 25th of August, they're having the Cocktail Lounge with Ifia Barcelona. Okay, interesting. So it's with Ifia Barcelona, and they are calling for artists. It's an open mic event. So you can pass through on the 25th of August, starting at exactly 6 p.m. If you want to be part of this, you can call their numbers or you can visit them on their social media platforms. They are on Instagram, they are on Facebook. You can call them 020 77 200 020 77 200 69 or 020 461 1585. So you can speak to the AH Cafe. They have amazing meals and you can pass through to enjoy yourself. And at the HR Certification Center, we provide training for HR practitioners. Now, if you're an HR practitioner and you want to remain relevant in the field, especially in the wake of AI that is challenging us, you certainly have to get that international certification. And we at the HR Certification Center provide that. So you can call our number 0244 122-855. Speak to our course facilitator and get registered for our next cohort taking off on the 9th of September. If you want to know more, you can join us this Saturday. We'll be running an information session live on Zoom. So you can visit our social media platforms. We are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram. We have a little bit of fun too on TikTok. You can visit us there. We have all the details that you would need to join our information session. Or you could just send a WhatsApp to 0244 122-855 and ask our course facilitator for the details for you to join our upcoming information session. And you get to know everything that there is to know about the international HR certification. Right, so let me see if I have some more questions here. So don't forget to share the link and drop a comment, drop a contribution, and I will be taking them one after the other. I think I saw a couple of questions. Okay, yeah. So John is asking, this is my question. AI-generated content sometimes raises concerns about originality and authenticity.
Yep.
How would you address these concerns when collaborating with a team in the organization?
Right. So that's where during my presentation in the beginning, I mentioned that when you make an input in AI, do not just copy and paste.
True.
It will give you the information you need. You need to let it have a thought pattern. You need to input a particular search in it. You have to let it start thinking in a particular way. If I can best put it that way. I remember I discussed this with my brother. He was so excited when it comes to AI. He's like, now my research work, I can use AI.
Yay,
And then,
it's make everything
so
easy.
Oh, you put the question there to give you all the answers. And I'm like, okay, good. That's when I actually got interested in this AI, and I was like, okay, let me try, download the app for me. I want to try. I put questions in. It came out. So just as he said, it was very mundane.
Yeah.
And I felt, no, this is out of touch. It feels so like he downloaded.
What the?
I know, right? I'm like, okay, how about asking it in this different way?
Yeah.
And you have to add certain elements to it depending on the search you're looking for. You have to add the human feel. If it is not, after I have generated the whole document, I go through it and now add how I want it to be.
Yeah, make it yours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to own it. There's that aspect of work you need to do as well. AI is not come to do all the work for you. It is not going to think for you.
True.
It will do that if you allow it. But you need to step it up and think for it. And that's why I mentioned that you marry its thought pattern to your thought pattern so that it's aligned.
Yeah.
So the way you want it to think, you start thinking like that.
Yeah.
And then it reads out the way you want it to be. So the outcome will then be more of you generated than just copy and paste or just picking it off the shelf or just taking it from someone. No.
Yeah.
You always have to apply your thoughts to it, your mind to it. And then again, we have a culture, we have a way of living.
Yeah.
You are in an organization, it has its values, so you put all that into it.
Yeah. And AI doesn't know that.
It doesn't. You have to put it in there.
Great. We always tell people that authenticity and originality really comes from your experience.
Exactly.
So if you're able to put in your experience, then it can be authentic. Roberta is saying exactly, the brains behind the creation of AI are that of humans. Thank you, Eugenia. And Moses is saying AI should be regarded as a tool.
Yeah.
Using it in HR, I believe, is a great idea, but we should not alienate the human touch, of course. Frank says, I'm enjoying the discussion. Jerry says, interesting discussion. I'm enjoying it. If you're indeed enjoying it, please share the link, invite your friends, tag a friend, mention their name, let them join, and let's get more interactions going on. Rita says, I agree that AI started a while. Okay, I think I've read this. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's take another question.
Okay.
So, in your opinion, what role can AI play to enhance employee engagement? I think employee engagement nowadays has become a big thing.
Yep.
Because people are open to a lot of information. So if they are not being properly engaged, they disengage.
Of course.
And find other ways, and it increases attrition at the long run.
Of course.
So how can AI aid in employee engagement?
It does that a lot. And especially when it comes to the different or the new era of work now, which is flexi. So anybody can work from anywhere they are, and we will all not necessarily have to congregate in the office to get work done. So wherever anybody is, the person can get work done.
True.
So that's where engagement becomes a bit difficult then, because I sit at the comfort of my home. I give the reports or the work that are assigned to me. I'm able to get them done. But how do I get to know my other work colleagues? How do I get to know even what's happening as an organization?
Yes.
How do I follow through what's going on?
Yes.
And AI supports that. So where you can be able to have a hub where employees can interact. You can have a forum, and it's all system-based, where employees get to know each other. They're able to share experiences. They're able to share with one another. Because we're always very skeptical after COVID that now if we start working from everywhere, remote, then it becomes difficult to have the human touch. Because when I
Interaction.
see you,
Yeah.
it's a whole different thing
Yes.
than doing Zoom or online meetings and all that.
Yeah.
We do not use Zoom and online meetings for WhatsApp, but see how engaging WhatsApp is.
True.
No matter the region you find yourself, no matter wherever you are, you connect and there's still that feel.
Yes.
That human touch is still there.
Yes.
And it's the same thing that most of the tools of AI is doing. The tools that are powered by AI is able to now connect people from very even remote places where typically technology might not reach. So we have sometimes either engineers, technicians that may be working in very remote areas because of the nature of their jobs.
Yeah.
How do we reach them? How do we connect them to make them know that they belong to this family of work or this family of organization that we are in? And AI is able to support that.
Yeah.
So there are systems that can be built that on their either on their phones or because some of the jobs don't even carry laptops. They don't have laptops. So
Yeah.
how do you connect with that?
them? Yeah.
So, and these are the tools that AI is using. AI is not separate from the apps that are well known. They are now empowering all these tools or systems with AI technology.
Yeah.
So you can have a WhatsApp or you can have a messaging app that's powered by AI, and then you can have that interaction.
Yeah, I think one of those ones is what the banks are using nowadays. They say hi Pokia and you can chat with them. I think some companies also have chat boxes.
Exactly.
You just go there and have conversations.
Exactly,
and
have just
engage.
conversations.
Yeah.
Teams has now stepped it up
Okay.
to have more messaging with chats. It's also a chat box that people use.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of more tools that are being used in learning and development. There's one widely known institution that comes when it comes to learning and development, IHRDC.
Okay.
They have different learning platforms that people can use now. They are now empowering all that with AI tools. That can enable the employer to be able to use that to help employees know their learning needs, identify them, and link them to the jobs they do.
This amazing.
It's
amazing.
Different things. So it's not going to create a whole new thing.
Yeah.
We can use the existing systems and management tools that we do have and enhance or power them with AI.
Yeah. I don't think we can have or talk about AI in just an hour. We actually probably need a part 2 of this. It's been amazing learning how AI is affecting our workspace presently and how it's going to affect our workspace in the future. Eugenia, you've been a great resource.
Thank you.
Your years of experience has certainly come to bear in this. And I like how you're able to mention some of the tools, some of the things you are using, and how importantly we have to increase our skills so that AI doesn't put us out of business, because we actually have a say in this.
We do.
We actually have a say in this. And for me, that's what I'm taking out of this conversation, that in the space where AI is becoming king, we as humans definitely have a say in this. Yes. And I want to know what you're also taking away from this conversation. Kindly drop it in the comments section. We've been talking about the future of work with AI in focus, and this is the HR Talk, proudly brought to you by the HR Certification Center. We run these discussions once every quarter. We run this is our third one for this year, and we've been speaking on issues around human resource development, human resource leadership from a more strategic level. And I want to encourage anyone listening to this, probably now or in the future, because it will be on our feed anytime you can come and listen to it. Engage. Let's hear from you. Engage with us on our social media platforms. If there are any HR issues that you want us to talk about, you can suggest it to us. Put it in our comment section, put it in our inbox. We want to bring to you content that is going to help you improve the work you do, especially for human resource practitioners, because we are a bit biased towards human resource practitioners because we are the HR Certification Center. We've been running this business of certifying HR practitioners for 13 years. And we have trained over 4,500 HR practitioners in Ghana, in Africa, and across the globe. So if you're an HR practitioner, you want to level up, you want to have a say in this technology-driven world, you have to be speaking to us and let us help you gain that professional capacity. Call us on 0244 122 855. And we want to say a very big thank you to AH Cafe, especially their manager Anita, for giving us this beautiful place to use for our HR talk. This is the first time that we are shooting in a cafe, and it's amazing. I like the ambience. I like the ambience. And if you are hearing a lot of horns tooting here and there, it's just natural. We're in a natural place, so kindly bear with us. And thank you, Anita. So if you want a place where you can relax, meet friends, have your business meetings over some lunch or breakfast, please come to AH Cafe. They are located at Ridge, on the same premise with Metro TV, or close to Alisa Hotel. Thank you very much for making time to be with us. My name is Kwabena Nyameche Dapa, and I've been your host, and I was joined by Eugenia Plange, and she has been our HR expert, throwing more light on the future of work with AI in focus. Thank you very much for spending your day with us. Do have a great, I was going to say do have a great weekend, because my weekend starts from Thursday. So yeah, do have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye for now.
Hi.
Bye everyone.